It's a bunch of crazy stories written by the Brothers Grimm. And now you're gonna learn all about them, listening to the Brothers Grimm.
Oh, yes. This one is fucked.
Okay. Indeed it is. Welcome, friends and relations, students and scholars, to the Brothers Dim podcast. My name is Phil.
And my name is Mike.
And we are going to be talking today about Grimm's story number 5, The Wolf and the Seven Little Kids. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I have two pieces of information, that I would like to share with you.
Oh, please do.
Oh, okay. So as you may or may not know, I think I told you, I trademarked the name The Brothers Dim.
Right.
Just because I like filling out government forms and requisitions and things like that. And I genuinely do. What I didn't realize, what I wasn't paying much attention to, was when I was filling out the forms, I put my address and my phone number into they said, oh, now give us your phone number. I said, okay. Gave him my phone number. And then I started noticing that I was getting 5 phone calls an hour and emails and all sorts of things about just scam calls, but also a lot of people that would call and say, like, we see you've correctly filled out your trademark forms. You didn't make any silly mistakes. So we will be able to finalize this for you for an extra $300.
These third parties?
Yeah, they're absolutely third. It was scam calls from India, from Bangalore.
Oh, okay. So they're just jumping on.
My phone number was public in the public. You can see it if you go to the USPTO website. Yeah, I know. And without even having to do anything. And I hopped on. I was like, well, I'm tired of getting 5. I figured out where the calls were coming from. And I switched the phone number from my phone number, which ends in the 4 numbers that it does. And I switched it to 1000. And I said, and I apologize to whoever has my phone number, except the last 4 digits are 1000 instead of my 4 digits. And then I realized, if you ever wanted to do a pretty good prank for a mere $250, and we could do this to Tyler or whoever, think of something funny that we could trademark. Maybe, what did you, ass face, shit face.
Ass face, shithid.
Ass face shithead. No, I thought ass face shit face was the one that worked. That was the one that got through anything.
Well, no, but you got to pronounce it ass face shithid.
I mean, okay. Whatever you want to do, then put the person who you're pranking's name and phone number and email address and regular address into the government website. They'll just start getting 1 million phone calls a day and have there's no way they'd be able to figure it out. In a million years, I don't think they'd be able to. They'd think, you know what? I'll go to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office website.
Well,
and look up my name, and you can just spell it a little bit differently than their real name. But I think it would be for $250, you get a pretty good prank that would go on for years.
5 spam calls an hour.
Yeah. I'm getting a ton of phone. I changed the number. I got on a bunch of lists, I think. So I get like,
oh yeah, that gets passed around quick.
Oh yeah. I'm on like 8 a day. So I tell them, they say, what's your name? Well, and I say, my name is Ben Chode, which you know that bit, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, it roughly translates to sister fucker. So they get really mad if they're like, so okay, we're you qualify for Medicare Part B, and you just please give me your name so we can verify. And you say, yeah, my name's Ben Chode, and then they start swearing at you. Everyone gets really It's amazing.
I once had a telemarketer who I dragged on for 45 minutes.
Nice.
Trying to get into my computer.
It's like, of all the people that they could have called, you were Tyler.
Yeah, no, I've done that multiple times, but this one in particular, I dragged him so long, and he got so angry when I finally gave up, and I was like, nope, sorry, I don't even have a Windows computer. He broke down and started telling me he knows where I live, and he's gonna come here, and he's gonna kill my mother, and he's gonna fuck my sister, and then kill my sister. And I'm just like, well, this escalated quickly.
Yeah, I didn't even know you had a sister.
I don't.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And I don't live with my mother.
You don't live with your mother.
I don't.
You don't have a sister.
Yeah.
If you had a sister, I would have made out with her at some point.
Yeah, you
Nice.
probably would have.
Yeah. Because that was kind of my jam for a little bit there.
Yeah, no, it's sort of your trademark.
That's way.
Yeah, for $250. You can trademark Ben Showed.
You could. They would they'd get real excited about that, I think. But okay. Grimm's story number 5, The Wolf and the Seven Little Kids. First line to make me laugh out loud. It took a little while to get here, and we'll explain it later, but I would like to read. The wolf ran to a baker and said, I have hurt my feet. Rub dough over them for me. And then the whole paragraph, actually. When the baker had rubbed his feet with dough, he ran to the miller and said, strew some white meal over my feet for me. And the miller thought to himself, this wolf wants to deceive someone. And it just made me crack
Catches on
up.
fast.
Yeah, the wolf that wants to rub dough all over his feet. I was so flabbergasted by that line. I didn't understand. And I'm wondering if that's another one of those, like, if you were in Germany in 1810, you could be like, oh, just rub dough over your feet.
Yeah, I mean this has to come from something.
There's a couple things, and there's another weird expression I'll get into in a little bit when we're going through the story. But all right, I'll let me read through the plot.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Mama goat has 7 baby goats, or kids. One day she needs to go shopping, gets the kids together and says, okay, I have to go to the grocery store or the forest to get food. Don't open the door for anyone except for me, but especially don't open the door for the wolf, because if he gets in, he's going to eat y'all. And the way you can tell it's the wolf is he's got a gravelly voice and black feet. Which, I'm just a quick interjection here. Seems bonkers racist, but I'm not sure. It's also maybe the color of a wolf's feet. Kids are like, okay, we got it. We'll be fine. Don't open the door for anyone but you. Gravelly voice, black feet, wolf.
That might be a devil thing, actually.
Okay.
That sounds like a devil description. So it's possible the wolf is sort of standing in for the devil here, but meh.
Maybe. Yeah, so something evil, though. But yeah, don't open the door for the wolf. Mom leaves. Immediately, here comes the wolf. Says, hey, let me in. Hey, let me in. But his voice is low and gravelly. The kids are like, you're not our mom. You're the wolf. So Wolf's like, foiled. And he goes to the store and buys some chalk to eat, which makes his voice all soft.
As one does.
As one does. I'm going to get into that tidbit later. But now his voice is soft, but he still has the black feet. And the kids are like, nope. Once again, you're the wolf, and we shan't let you in. Shan't. So the wolf goes out again, this time to rub flour and dough all over himself. But not chalk, but which would make more sense to me, but flour. So his feet are now white. Goes back to the house, and with white paws and a soft voice, the kids are like, well, it's not the wolf. So open the door. But it was the wolf after all. The kids all hide. Wolf finds and eats 6 of them, and everyone but the youngest, who had hid in the clock case. Youngest survives. Wolf is now satisfied, having eaten 6 kids, and goes out and takes a nap. Mom comes home, sees what happened, and the story is confirmed by the surviving kid. She realizes, okay, the wolf must have gotten in here and eaten all my kids. The youngest kid's like, yep, that's what happened. So she goes full woe is me, cries and weeps. Still, they go out looking for the wolf. They find him asleep. They see his stomach moving around like crazy. Mom sends the kid home to fetch some scissors. They cut open the stomach. All the kids are fine. They hop out, and then the mom has them all go fetch a bunch of rocks so they can fill the wolf's stomach up with them as a replacement. She sews the wolf up. He wakes up, and none the wiser. He's full, but he's thirsty. So he walks around. He realizes that something's wrong, says a little poem to himself. What rumbles and tumbles against my poor bones? I thought 'twas 6 kids, but not but big stones. So there's our poem we were talking about that they had to have written in German, but here it is now in English. And that one came out pretty good, I thought. But anyways, he goes to the well for a drink, falls in, and because he is full of rocks, he quote drowns miserably. And now the wolf is dead, and the kids dance around and celebrate with the mom. Scene.
And they all lived happily ever after, except for the wolf.
Except for the wolf, who drowned miserably. I'm not sure super what the moral was. I mean, it seems simple enough. I guess maybe watch out for fraudsters, and you have to just be clever enough to see through the lies. Though in this instance, they weren't, and nothing really bad happened to them. But they did kill the fraud guy, so maybe don't commit fraud. Don't open the door to strangers. Here's
if
the other
you've caught
thing.
a stranger trying to break in twice, don't open the door the third time.
Unless, goat mom, I don't know how good their house was or if she had keys. I've also never been in the position of leaving my 4-month-old son at home and leaving him instructions. Although your kids, Mel's old enough to stay at home alone, right?
Yeah, they both can stay at home.
Can Mel babysit the other one?
Oh no.
Okay.
I will leave them individually, but I would not leave them together.
Okay.
That's
their what is that, 10 and 8?
13 and 10.
Oh Jesus, 13 and 10.
10 today.
All right. Well, 13 though, I will say, was the age of the babysitters in the Babysitters Club books. So maybe that's old enough to be a babysitter.
I feel like the 13-year-old babysitter is not as common these days.
I'm sure it's not. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things that I did as a child that aren't probably as common. Like I remember walking when my mom lived in Hull, Massachusetts. I was like 10 or 11. I would walk from her house down to the boardwalk, down to the Midway to play arcade games. So I could play the Simpsons arcade game. And it was miles. And a stranger tried to pick me up one time, but I didn't get in the car.
That's a shame.
I think he would have murdered me.
Oh.
Yeah, a guy was like, "Hey, do you need a ride anywhere? I can take you wherever you need to go." And some teens pulled up beside him and got out. They were like, "Don't get in the car with that guy." And I was like, "Oh, I wasn't getting any." They were like, "We got his license. We got your license plate, you pervert." And the guy drove off. They were like, "Don't ever get in a car with anyone, kid. Bye." And then they took off. But I think they
didn't offer you a ride.
No, and I think I think it's good that they didn't. I think if they had, they'd be like, "No,
damn it, this was a test.
This was a test, and you failed again." I digress. I don't even know where that was going. Yeah, don't trust strangers, I guess. I'm not sure. So, story type Arn Thompson 123, which is just the wolf and the kids. It's all pretty much exactly this. Mom goes away, wolf tricks the kids and eats them. Mom cuts open the wolf, fills them with rocks. The wolf drowns.
And I feel like I know this one from other sources too.
There's
this one might have been in we have a bunch of Usborne book collections, which you will come into as your child gets older. Yeah, I feel like this was in one of those.
An Osborne?
Usborne.
Usborne? What's that?
Yep. It is it's like a sell books from your house kind of thing. It's not like an MLM.
Okay.
I don't even think it's at the level of like Tupperware. It's vaguely like Tupperware parties.
Was it like when you go to school and there was the book fair?
Oh, like Scholastic? No.
Okay.
No, this is, I mean, it's vaguely, but no, it's not like they don't do it at schools. This is like you've got somebody in your neighborhood that sells Usborne books.
Okay.
You'll find somebody in your neighborhood that sells Usborne books.
But
they're generally like it's good stuff. We have a Shakespeare collection. We have.
Okay. I mean, I have my own Shakespeare collection, but okay.
No, but this is for kids, so they're sort of simplified and abridged and all that.
So like an MLM that doesn't specifically have, or not necessarily an MLM. But like a more like what's that makeup nonsense? The pink Cadillac selling makeup.
Oh, Mary Kay.
Like Mary Kay. Well,
yeah.
They're genuinely, you buy a franchise.
Yeah.
It's technically MLM in that there's multi-level marketing, but there's only like 2 levels. There's you're the franchisee and you pay them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's some really good books.
Okay. Maybe I will. Yeah. We do at our neighborhood now, we do a Thirsty Thursday. I guess, where you go. Our neighbor did one. It was Jamie's first party this last Thursday. I found out some interesting things about, you know what? I don't want to put it on all one gender, but it was all one gender. I learned. So there's a certain type of person, and at this party, they all happen to be women, where if I said the phrase, "Would you like to hold him?" the pupils dilated just a little bit.
Ovaries melt.
Yes. And I'd be like, all right, here you go. And then I went and had what's that bubbly red wine nonsense?
Sherry.
No,
I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I stopped drinking 2 years ago. I have no idea.
Oh, fuck. You used to drink so much wine, though.
Mhm.
Lambrusco.
I think that came out in the last 2 years.
That's
Just like that White Claw shit.
No. No, Lambrusco wine has been around for hundreds of years. It's an Italian red wine grape. It's like champagne but with red wine. But there's something called there's something called a baby hog, and I learned this because a woman at one point I was just at the party and I realized I hadn't seen Amanda was she got elected to the school board.
Oh, nice.
She went off to the school board meeting. So I was supposedly in charge of the child.
I don't know if there's any supposedly about it.
But other women were holding the child, so I said okay. And then I went and after, I don't know, I think a 10-minute break of not seeing the kid, I said, well, I should probably go at least find him.
Make sure
he's still at the party. Yeah.
Make sure he hasn't gotten into a car with a stranger.
In Hull, Massachusetts. And I found there was a woman named Carrie. And she said, oh, hi, my name's Carrie. And I said, oh, okay. I said, hello. And, and she said, I'm a bit of a baby hog. I said, okay. And she said, so I will hold this baby all night if you'll let me. And I said, you know what? I've never met you, but I trust you. And I did for there was like 12 kids at this party.
Yeah. So the odds that yours is the one that'll disappear are
slim.
1 in 12. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I gamble those odds.
It seemed fine to me. I knew where the kid, and I knew the woman's name. So
you know what she told you her name was.
Oh, that's true. And then I guess the last part of the party was I'm not good at kids' ages. Maybe I'll get good, but I don't know. I'm gonna say a 10-year-old girl came over and tapped me on the arm, and I looked down and I said, oh, hello. And she said, just so you know, I've held Jamie. And then gave me like a look and then just wandered away. It's like, okay.
That sounds an awful lot like she was like, can I hold the baby? And somebody's like, I don't see the baby's dad around, but I'll tell you what, I'll let you hold the baby for a little bit, but don't tell the baby.
Don't immediately go to. I didn't mind. I'm fine with if 10-year-old wants to help. But yeah, it was just like, okay, well, I'll watch you while you hold the baby. And she held the baby for 30 seconds, and it was maybe the first baby she's held. So, yes. What are we talking about? The wolf and the stones. There's a little, there's also this, it reminded me of Red Riding Hood a little bit.
Yeah. Three Little Pigs.
Three Little Pigs. Well, Red Riding Hood, especially because the wolf ate the grandma and they just cut the stomach open. I think they just killed the thing, but like everyone, when a wolf eats you in Grimm's, you're fine. Yeah, like you have a while.
They don't tend to chew despite their sharp teeth.
Swallow whole, and you've got probably a couple days.
Maybe that's the moral. Chew your food.
Or else you're gonna die miserably.
He
does drown.
There's apparently a way to drown that isn't miserable.
People say, is that the thing where people are like, oh, I hear if you drown, it's actually very peaceful? Is that what you're getting at?
I don't know. I think if you freeze to death, it's peaceful. I think if you drown, that sounds like one of the most terrifying things I can imagine.
Yeah. There was a movie and it had Wolverine and Batman in it, and they were competing magicians. I think it was called The Prestige. Okay. Also, Bowie was in it.
I have not seen this, but I am familiar with it.
Bowie played Nikolai Tesla, and the movie was bonkers, but that's okay. And they were saying, oh, it's, drowning isn't that bad. And that's kind of a major plot point. I won't ruin it for you, but then
I'm guessing it has to do with a big tank of water that they
It
have
does.
to feed them.
It does have to. Does have to do with a big tank of water. There are, in fact, several dozen tanks of water. And then,
What?
oh, I know. It's what a twist. You wouldn't believe the twist in Prestige until you see it. Yeah. Okay. So this first story we're reading from the Hassenpflug family from Hanau. The Hassenpflug family has a bunch of stories. This story apparently dates back to the 1st century, according to an American folklorist named D.L. Ashleman, who is the professor emeritus of German at the University of Pittsburgh, and says, yeah, this story's been around for 2,000 years, which is fine. I mean,
I'd buy it.
I could see that. This is the first time I think the first story where we've met the big bad wolf.
Yeah, I think so.
Man, do Germans, I don't know if these two Germans in particular, the Brothers Grimm, are afraid of wolves, but everyone's very skittish around wolves.
Oh yeah, no, they are the bad guy, and it's never a pack of wolves. It's always a single evil.
It's one wolf, and I don't know if a devil or if it was just slang for the French or Russians or
maybe
whatever. But the other thing I thought was very weird, and I had to do some research and got nowhere with, was the wolf has a gravelly voice and then eats chalk to make his voice softer. Some translations have it as he ate sugar or honey to make his voice sweeter, but that seems to be like a modern addition for the English language.
Yeah.
So I guess there's certain types of chalk that'll settle your stomach.
Oh, yeah.
Drop, drop, fizz, fizz.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
Tums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you got a cold,
calcium carbonate, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, bicarb. Yeah.
Close enough. One will kill you, one will not.
Wait, really?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
Like that H2O, H2O2 joke.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, there's some references I saw online to eating chalk and making your voice softer. And I don't know if it was just like a weird German expression in Germany in the 1800s. Oh, you know him, bit of a chalk eater, that one. Best not trust him. The way I wouldn't trust someone, like if you found out that someone ate paste.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
To your kid, you're like, Mel, why are you hanging out with that kid? They eat paste they ate all my paste, and I was meaning to paste some things this weekend. I
went to school with a kid who spent the entirety of 4th grade eating a ruler, except for the metal strip. But he finished it throughout the whole school year. He succeeded.
Was it James?
It was not, although James was in my class.
Kai was in your class too, I think.
No, I'm talking 4th grade.
Oh, 4th grade. Okay. Was Kai your age?
Yep.
I know Tyler was a year younger than you, or 2 years younger than you.
2 years. Yeah.
Tyler's a year younger than me, and you're 1 year.
You guys are 2 years younger than I am.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll leave the chalk eater, paste eater question to the ages.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Didn't seem to be anything, despite the 2,000 year lineage. There didn't seem to be a lot. There wasn't like really movies. Big Bad Wolf is all over the place. But the 7 goats, I mean, the 3 little pigs made it through into the sort of collective unconscious, but not the 7 goats. This is the first time I've ever encountered them.
I was thinking back on it. I think the version I'm thinking of is an original of Little Red Riding Hood, where they cut the wolf open, get the grandmother out, and then replace the grandmother with rocks and sew them back up.
Okay.
I don't remember if he drowns or what.
I guess I don't know enough. I don't remember enough about the story Little Red Riding Hood to remember them specifically putting rocks back in. And it also might be specifically a Grimm's related version. I know Little Red Riding Hood is somewhere in here.
Yeah.
And there's like 4 or 5 versions of it, I think. But I mean, certainly we will get there, and we will be very excited, I think, if we
oh yeah,
get to like one of the, Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, one of the big ones.
One of the big ones.
That's gonna that'll be a blockbuster.
Frog Prince was a pretty good one.
That was,
yeah. That's got Disney movies and stuff, But anyways, that is story 5.
One thing I want to point out in this one. Okay. Sorry to hijack
no, by all means, yeah.
I do this a lot. I feel like this is. I mean, we're only 5 in, but I feel like this is our first instance of a family that lives in the woods that has 7 kids, and the kids don't seem to be a burden.
Oh,
the mom is not going out to try to sell off 2 of them or marry them to an adult who will sleep in a castle for 3 nights. I think we're going to find a common theme of animals versus people, and where people are wretches and animals are generally pretty cool and just seem to get along and find what they need.
It's a very German sort of thought. The love of nature, before they just the common German thought was like, we should take over the world. Yeah, that's an interesting insight, and yes, everyone has a happy ending here.
Yeah,
and also presumably, yeah, and is well fed. Mom was able to go out and get food.
Well, who knows what she was out doing? That was unnecessary.
In the red light district, and there's all sorts of ways you can make money as a goat. Anyway, okay, yes, that is story 5, Wolf and the 7 Little Kids. We are the Brothers Dim. Please feel free to share and enjoy this podcast with all your friends and relations, and we will see you for next time, which presumably will be story 6, Faithful John. do you have a cool catchphrase you wanna say, like boom shakalaka?
I haven't developed one yet.
Okay.
But I think probably just this conversation would fit just fine.
Okay. All right. Boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka.
Okay, yes. Have a delightful evening.
Evening.